Good morning, JMU folks. My name is Chris Jones. I'm the Assistant Director for Sport Clubs and Inclusive Recreation at UREC, and I'm an avid disc golfer, and I play with the Rocktown Disc Golf Club and play with anyone else who wants to play. I'm out here at beautiful University Park here on JMU's campus at our disc golf course. So if you weren't aware, we actually have a disc golf course here at University Park. It's 9 tee pads with 18 baskets, so you can play a full round out here. So over the next 4 weeks during Maymester, I'm going to be doing some disc golf videos about, today I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of the Frisbee and some of the basic rules. And then as we proceed, I'm going to do some things with throwing techniques and other things. Hopefully give you a little bit of information that you may not have ever heard about, or that's interesting, and just maybe some ways to help get you either involved in the game or maybe a little bit better if that's possible. So yeah, I want to start off and just talk about the history, some brief interesting facts about the history of the Frisbee. The Frisbee, as we think of it, like an ultimate disc, ultimate Frisbee, or a regular flying Frisbee that you might just play catch with friends, that word actually comes from an old pie company that was based out of Connecticut, I believe, called the Frisbee Pie Company. And back in the 40s, college students from Yale and Dartmouth realized that they could take the pie pans and actually throw them to their friends and play catch. So the word Frisbee actually comes from that pie company. In the 50s, plastics were becoming used in manufacturing a lot more, and a gentleman by the name of Fred Morrison actually created the first ever plastic flying disc. It was called the Pluto Platter. Later on in a few years, Morrison actually sold the patent of the Pluto Platter to Wham-O, and Wham-O then patented what we now know today as the Wham-O Frisbee, the first ever true Frisbee using that word. A gentleman by the name of Ed Hedrick, a lot of folks refer to him as Steady Ed Hedrick, the father of disc golf, worked for Wham-O and became addicted to the game, and actually is the person who invented and patented the disc golf basket, the first disc golf basket in the 70s. You can see a pretty typical design of what you might see out of a local park or disc golf course right now behind me. In the 80s, 82, Dave Dunapace, who is a disc golfer, is the person who first invented what we consider a typical disc golf disc, a beveled edged disc that's not quite as domey as a regular Frisbee. And the advantages of using a disc like this is that it will fly much farther, faster, and they are made to do different things, to be used in a different shot. And in another video, I'm going to talk about that here in a couple weeks. But that's kind of a brief history. It's interesting. It's been one of the quickest growing sports in the last 15, 20 years, and even still today. As of 2012, there were about 2,800 disc golf courses in the United States. As of today, there's about 6,500. And what I love about disc golf is that it's just really accessible to most people because it's not very expensive. If you play traditional ball golf, you know that it's much more expensive. You have to pay to play ball golf. Disc golf, it's usually at a park, a city park, or is where a lot of courses are, and it's free except your equipment. Now, you can spend a lot of money on equipment and grow your bag, so to speak, to have 20 discs if you would carry that many, but really to get started, you just need a couple discs. You can buy a disc golf starter pack from Dick's Sporting Goods or online for probably $20 to $30 and get you started. It's also your outdoors. If you like hiking, you're getting recreation, you're typically in the woods. It's a beautiful setting where I'm at out here today at U Park, so this is just great. Quick rundown on how you actually play. What are the, I guess, basic rules? There's actually a rule book that the PDGA puts out, the Professional Disc Golf Association, that is much more than what I'm going to explain, the brief rules that I would tell you, but things about if you're allowed to fall past your disc on a shot and rules violations. The basics is that each tee starts on a tee pad. The tee pads here at University Park are concrete slabs. They're 5 feet wide by about 12 feet long, gives you plenty of room to run up on your shot to kind of generate some more power. But at other courses, I've seen gravel tee pads, I've seen stone paver tee pads. You can have a natural tee pad just with grass with flags marking it. And if you get out and check out your local courses, you'll see all these different designs. And the nice thing about that is you can make a hole longer for more advanced players, but you can have a second tee pad for more recreational players. Scoring is done the same way that you score in ball golf. So each hole is assigned a par score. Par for here at University Park on most of the holes is par 3, so it takes you 3 shots to complete the hole, but we do have a few par 4s for longer holes. Essentially, once you throw your first shot off the tee, your drive, you proceed to where the shot lands, and that's your next mark that you have to throw from. You can take steps up to the mark to generate more power and speed on your shot, but you're not allowed to step past the mark on your second shot. The hole's completed when the disc lands in the basket. So it has to physically land in the chains and be held there or in the basket. If a disc hits the yellow part of the basket and falls onto the ground, you have to actually pick it up and put it back in the basket. Similar to ball golf, there's out of bounds on holes. Certain holes have markers, ropes. There's water on holes. If a disc goes into a lake or a river and it's totally surrounded by water, it's out of bounds. And there's procedures for how you would mark where you would take your next shot and the penalty that you would get. But I would just say disc golf, it's a great activity. It's one of those things that you can do for fun, but there's also a lot of people now who are actually playing it professionally as a career. There's tons of videos of tournaments on YouTube, so if you're interested and you want to check out some of the pros, and just some of these shots these people throw are amazing. The first disc golfer to sign a contract with a disc golf company over $1 million over a 4-year contract recently happened. So again, over the next couple of weeks, we're going to talk about different throws, give you some technique tips, hopefully give you some things to make your game a little bit better, or maybe get you started and learn something new. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Get on out there and throw some Frisbees. Thank you.